Welcome to the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast, where we explore, explain, and discuss what makes us a whole lot of women in today's world. This segment is all about finding out where our inner whole lot of woman gets her strength. So grab your journal, grab a pen, make sure you listen to the visualization exercise, and let's get started.
I won't be defined, stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman.
All right, and as far as her inner strength, where does she get her inner strength during her hard times? Does she go to God? Does she go to church? Does she read the Bible? Does she journal? What does she do that helps her build it up without talking to anybody, without outside influences? Where is she getting it from the inside? And how does she keep herself grounded? And when she tells you, ask her, how do those things help though? What makes it helpful? Because you need to know what she's actually getting out of this. For example, if she's journaling, is it making her reflect more? Is it making her, as she's writing it out, seeing herself maybe in the third person, making her have a different perspective of her situations? And that's what makes her feel better. What feeling is she getting from reading the Bible or watching a sermon that she relates to? How is that giving her strength? Have her tell you that, so that's something you can understand and tap into as well. And when you feel the feeling, you don't run from it, you lean into it. And you start doing those things. So when you start doing those things, you'll understand the joy and help that comes with it. How often does she do these things? Especially when she's up. So it's one thing to go to God and go to the Bible, when we're down and we're going through a breakup, we're going through a bad time, and you just need the strength at that time. But what does she do? How does she maintain these habits when she's up? How often does she journal when she's happy? How often does she pray when she's happy? How often does she go to church when things are going good for her, when she's receiving blessings? Ask her that, so that you don't just tap into it when you need it and not actually build up any way of having consistency or any way of actually maintaining that long term. Because if you're not maintaining it, you're not going to get the higher self results. You're just going to get the little temporary fix, because maintaining it is what is going to build the character of the higher self. That's why you have to be consistent. That's why you can't cheat. That's why you can't just put on a different outfit, but you didn't do any of the inner work. So it all plays a part. That is why you have to get all in her business, so that you know exactly how to play it. Because it's stuff in your mind that you know, but you're not tapping into. It's people around you that you don't need to be around, but you're not acknowledging that. And you're never going to get to where she is until you do those things. And how does she go to therapy? And if she does, how long has she been going to therapy? What made her start going to therapy? Was it a situation, or it was just time? She just wanted healing. What made her get up and go? Just like in the previous episode when I was saying, okay, what made her go back to school? Like, okay, so your current self doesn't have a degree, but the higher self does. What made her go back to school? So that's what you want to find out. What is she getting out of therapy? Is it helping her be more peaceful? Is it teaching her how to cope? Is it telling her how to, set boundaries? What is she getting out of the experience of going to therapy? And does she seem, now when you're talking about therapy and you guys are talking about whatever it is that put her in therapy, you can ask her what topic she talks about in therapy. Like I said, get in her business. What is it that she's actually in there talking about? Is it family? Is it childhood? Is it a relationship? Is it friendships? When she's talking about that, when she's telling you what topics she discusses in therapy and stuff, is she peaceful when she's talking to you about these things? Because she's talking to you about traumatic stuff. But does she have a sense of peace while she's talking about her trauma? Because that is telling you that therapy is doing something for her. Because she could talk about it without busting out crying. She could talk about it and still speak and communicate clearly about trauma that you don't even want to be spoken about out loud right now. Ask her. Take note of everything. Because I know that's what the higher self that you want to be able to be confident bold, speaking about what hurts you and being unapologetic about it, not letting it totally affect you forever, not letting it affect you for the rest of your life, especially if it was something that happened years ago that has a hold on you. And does she just clearly express herself and her feelings as a whole? Because, it's a lot of people that we can feel feelings, but you don't know how to say them. Like, I used to get on my homegirl about when she used to be in relationships and she's, I don't want to say ready to exit or has, how you want to talk to your person about something. She would call them over, I need to talk to you. We need to have a talk. Get them over there. You know how men are about having a talk. That's already, they go crazy with that. And they would come over and she would just start crying. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. And I was like, girl, that would drive me crazy. I was like, you can't do that. You can't make this whole production of want to have a talk. Somebody come over there, you bust out crying like you're 12 or 13 years old and never actually say what you wanted to have to talk about, and then be like, well, I had trouble communicating. I had trouble talking. So why did you invite them over there to talk? Why do you keep doing that? Why is that your thing? That's not okay. So does she clearly express her feelings, and do you clearly express yours? So compare the two. Okay. Now, I wanted to know if she considers herself a disciplined person, because discipline helps you grow in different areas. So it could be, is she disciplined with her diet? Is she disciplined with a daily routine? What is she disciplined in? And how did she become disciplined in that area? And why did she choose to be disciplined in that area? Is she disciplined in her diet because she lost weight and she wants to maintain it? Is she disciplined in her diet because she gained weight and wants to maintain it? Why is she disciplined in the routine? Does it make her more productive? Why? You get what I'm saying? Why are they financially disciplined? What are they disciplined in, and how is it helping them? And are you disciplined in that area right now? And just start working towards that. Just ask yourself, does it seem doable? So if she's saving, she might be saving, let's say, $2,000 every 6 months. But you might not be in a position to save that much money, but start saving money every month. Even if it's just to say, okay, I'm putting $10 up every month to build the discipline of being able to put money up to the side and not touching it. Me personally, I get a small amount of my check transferred to a credit union account that I do not have a debit card for. I have an ATM card, so emergency happens. That's what savings are for. But I do not have a debit card. I don't even have the app for it, because I want that money to be there just in case I need it. Like when the holidays come and my nieces want something, like my niece actually just moved into an apartment, I can go into my savings and get some money for that. My other niece is going to college, I can go into my savings for that. But I'm disciplined enough to tell myself now, for example, because this is how it was at my old job, when I was working at a call center, and those checks are not as much, but I was like, okay, I know for a fact that I waste at least $25 of a $900 check or a $700 check. I know for a fact I do that. So what I started doing was getting $25 drafted into just an account that I do not touch. And when push comes to shove, when I got to rob Peter to pay Paul, I actually don't have to rob Peter. I can just go to my savings account. And it actually helps, because like I said, I would have wasted that on out to eat, just frivolous stuff that wouldn't help me when it's time to pay Paul, okay? So figure out where you can start being disciplined and work on it and build on it. You don't have to go hard straight out the gate. You don't have to start putting half your paycheck up, but start somewhere. And let's see, and just see where it gets you. Start tracking it. Say you want to do 6 months of saving $10, and then after 6 months, and you realize, okay, I did that and I didn't touch it. I could have put 20, because then you mad that it's only $60, and then you wish you had a bigger return. So then the next 6 months, you might up the gun to 20, 25, whatever works for you. But that's building. You don't have, like, when you work out, your muscles don't come overnight after the first night you go to the gym. So you got to be consistent and you got to build on it. And as far as her physical strength. Now, does she work out? Ask her that. How often does she work out? What is her workout routine? What does it look like? When she first started to work out, what was her body like? Was it the current self? How long did it take her to get there? Because even if that's not the reality, it's going to tell you. If she tell you she lost 100 pounds in 6 months, 100 pounds in 3 months, that better inspire you to start exercising harder. So get in her business, Is she a gym girl or does she do home workouts? Does she wear cute little gym outfits? Is that what's going to get her to go? What does she do? What she look like in the gym? What's her favorite gym brand? What's her favorite machine to work out on? Why is it her favorite machine? What does she eat to maintain her body? How does she cook? What's her favorite meal? Does she meal prep? What does she eat on her cheat day? Because you don't have to be so disciplined. Like I said, everything don't have to be cold turkey. So find out what her cheat meal is and why that's her cheat meal, because it might be a cheat meal that it's a cheat, but it's still low calorie, or, it's still within the diet. So her cheat meal might not be 2 pizzas, okay? So don't lose your mind because you get to cheat, okay? Don't set yourself back. And after a long day, what does she do to distress? Like, how does she de-stress? Does she listen to music? Does she read a book? Does she listen to a podcast? Does she take a long shower? I like body scrubs and stuff like that. So in order to de-stress, I like to get in the shower. I got all my shower routine, that is the way I de-stress at nighttime. So that's my alone time in the bathroom, listening to podcasts, listening to music, and getting ready for the night and the next day. And so ask her how she does that and start doing it. Especially if it's something you can afford, start doing it. Now, because I'm like de-stressing after work, so I doubt she's doing something that's super, super expensive. In-home de-stress. And what can you do to start that now? Okay? So that is the end of the strength segment. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week for the last segment of the Becoming Her series, which is the standards. So we're going to be finding out what standards she has set for herself and the people around her. All right. So thanks for tuning in to the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. And always remember, beauty, brain strength, and standards all will make you
I won't be defined. Stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lotta woman. I'm a whole lotta. I've been refined. Beauty's divine. All things in God's time. I'm a whole lotta woman.